So I was actually on the front veranda. I was sitting at home with Carol having a glass of Shiraz on the front veranda, and we're having a bit of a chat, and I said to her, you know what, I think I'm going to go for a walk. And she thought I actually physically meant right there and then. So she said, well, are you actually going to finish your wine first? And I said, no, I'm not. I'm talking about a much bigger walk than that. So what exactly is Tony's Trek? It's a almost 1,500 kilometre trek heading from Melbourne down to Mallacoota on the far east. Once I get to Mallacoota, I turn around and come back to Nowa in East Gippsland. I'll then head north over the Alpine Range, over the top of Mount Hotham to Wodonga, and then from Wodonga back down to Melbourne again. The reason I'm doing it is because I've been in this sector for many, many years, as many of you have who might watch this. And we've all seen people who've suffered with their mental health as a result of the work that they do. And it's not only the accumulation of the types of jobs that they go to, but organisational culture and those sorts of things all contribute. And it makes life, for some people, very, very difficult. And unfortunately, I've had colleagues who've taken their lives along the way. And I had one more recently around the time that I made the decision to do this, where I thought, you know, we must be able to do better than this. There's so much work goes in by agencies and the government to make sure that when people get sick, they've got lots of really good support around them and they can be helped. But I believe that we can do far more at the front end to try and help prevent people from getting to that point where they actually fall off the cliff, if you like, and need so much care. Well, we've got 139,000 paid and volunteer emergency response and support workers in our sector. That's a lot of people, and a lot of people do struggle. And as many of you would know, often they don't want to step up and they don't want to say they've got a problem. But we'll actually help them come forward and will help us to help them. Finally, the day has come. We're at the State Control Centre, as you can see, and everybody's turned up for the launch, which is fantastic. 12 months of training and messing around and all of the trials and tribulations that come with that have finally passed, and it's actually very real today. So I'm looking forward to getting through this, getting out on the road and actually starting to get the walk done. There we go. There we go. Thanks everybody. Come on guys, let's go. Thank you. I chose the route because it's an area, of course, that the fires went through in 2019 and 20, so that was really pretty important to me, and I know that many emergency service workers down in the east and the far northeast have really suffered as a result of those fires.
It's great to get all of the town's emergency services together, so the SES, the ambulance and CFA, and have a yarn, talk about the positives and actually not talk about incidents. We've decided amongst the leaders of each service that we're going to make it a quarterly event. So the SES have already put their hand up for the next one. It's a great thing that Tony's helped pull us all together, and we're going to try to keep that united feeling going forward.
My experience was a really horrendous 2 years, 96, 97, that culminated in Thredbo, and colleagues from the old MFB that I'd worked with, everybody started to fall off and struggle in a really, really big way, and I had no idea what was going on. That was my problem. I was scared about what I was going to do next because I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing at the time. I went and got some help, and once I started to get my head around what was actually going on, I was able to start managing that. And then as things occurred over the next number of years, that got that little bit easier.
Day 19, that's 23 kilometres and that's done and dusted. Nice to see you. You just popped over just 100 metres up the road, 1,000 kilometres, and I've walked a fair bit in my time, but I've never walked 1,000 k's in consecutive days. It's pretty awesome.
It's great trying to bring awareness around wellbeing, especially as a CFA peer. We spent a lot of time in Corryong and the Dowers Valley group after the 2019-2020 fires, talking to people about welfare. It's a bit of a taboo subject in emergency service, and I think through initiatives like Tony's, trying to bring out the awareness of wellbeing in these areas is really great.
I'm from Harryville CFA and I've walked from Smoko to Popunka, about 24 kilometres. We learned so much, we met so many different people. We've wanted to see the youth join in along the way, party together for a great cause.
I thirsted for his feet. Mine I saw only did 20 k's.
The support we've had along the way has been incredible, from agency personnel, volunteers, paid staff. Has been fantastic. Local communities, when they found out what we're doing, have just been all... Everywhere we've gone, the hospitality has been incredible. People driving our safety and escort vehicle and supporting us, people providing meals, people providing accommodation. It's just been incredible, but it shows that it means something significant to them.
It's really important that we get people when they're a little bit wobbly rather than when they get to the end of the road, and have that early intervention, which is so important, which is what Tony's Trek is all about.
So people have asked me a couple of times, why would I spend 50 days walking around half of Victoria and put myself through something that's obviously going to be difficult and painful? When I first got asked the question, I thought, well, because it's a good thing to do and I've got a purpose behind it. But when I really think about it, at the end of the day, yes, it is hard, and I'm pretty tired now, I can tell you, almost at the end of it. However, when this is finished, then it finishes for me. It's as simple as that. I get to rest and everything's fine. However, those people who are suffering with their mental health, they will still have a mental health issue that they've got to struggle with.
Feeling pretty good overall, but my legs are getting real heavy. I think your body actually starts to override your mind. We were just walking across the road over there, and I've stumbled a few times now, and they feel heavy. I normally walk a lot further, but I think the legs actually know we're here and they just want to stop, I think. I've been with hundreds of people over this last few weeks, and I've loved every minute of it, but I've got my family coming over with the boys and their partners and the grandkids this weekend, and I get to meet my little granddaughter for the first time, who was born 3 weeks ago, and I haven't met her yet. That'll be beautiful. The support we've had from right the way around from everyone has been totally amazing. Through you to your organisations, thanks so much for that.